Hey, Kenny here with Radius Drums. Hang out with me while we get a snare drum shell roughed out. So we're getting the chop saw set up, and we've got a nice piece of oak here. There's some really cool figuring on this oak, except for this edge, which is why I'm marking the edge, because the figuring doesn't go through that part of the board, but we're going to cut that off later. And now we're going to clean up this end edge, get it nice and square. And then we're going to cut all these down to 6-inch lengths. And these are 10 staves we're cutting to make up the snare drum shell. And yes, you'll see there's no safety gear on my chop saw, and you'll see soon there's no safety gear on my table saw either. I don't recommend that. Don't try this at home, but I'm very comfortable with these wide open tools. And yeah, just use your power tools safely. I've got all my fingers, and let's make sure you keep all of yours. Now we're just numbering these so they go back. They get glued together in sequence. This is a website called Uniontown Labs. You can enter your specs for the snare drum you want to build, how many pieces, what size, and it will give you all the angles and sizes that you need to cut your stave at. It's pretty awesome. It saves you the trouble of doing the old school math. And now we're setting here with the digital angle finder. We're setting the blade to 18 degrees. And it's super important to get that right. My table saw is not the most accurate in the world, so it takes a little playing around with. And we got it set. And it's time to chop. Like I said, I don't recommend doing it the way I do it. Obviously safety is not my first concern, but it probably should be yours. I'm very comfortable in the way I've got this system worked out, keeping pressure with push stick in toward the fence so nothing binds up in the blade. And it's a little bit over 4 inches away from the blade, so there's plenty of room for my hand to get by. So we rip one side and then flip it and rip the angle on the other. And I like doing 10 stave drums because when I lay them out for hardware, I can lay out the hardware on the glue joint, and not only is the glue joint generally less likely to crack than the grain of the wood, but when the hardware is there and the tension rods are there and everything, it actually kind of helps hide the seams, so it looks like a more seamless drum even though it's 10 pieces glued together. Alright, here we go, last one. Alright, so now I'm putting these back together in sequence. I like to do half at a time because it's a little bit easier to manage on my workstation. You'll notice that one is shorter than the rest, but that's alright. That's going to get cut off after I mill everything down, and it'll get cut off in the final, when I cut the final depth of the shell. So here we are, we got the last 5. Put these together, And once I flip these up like the other ones, they'll go in order 1 through 10, and the grain, even though it's vertical grain, it still helps to kind of flow together. Bust out some more tape and get this end done up. And there you go, nice tight seams. Now, I like to lay them out on this board. It's much longer than my workstation. Type on 2 is the way to go. And just slather up every one of these joints. People will say I use too much glue, and that's fine. You do it however you want. I like a lot of glue, and I'll scrape it up later. Alright, time for the roll. That is I want to say that goes up to 20-inch pipe clamp used for HVAC. Super nice to have. I've used rope, I've used copper wire, I've used ratchet straps, but these are the easiest and the best that I've tightened ones. Do that a few times and you'll have a nice batch of shells like this. Thanks for hanging out. Keep an eye out for more.